Hi, by request, I'm going to give a little walkthrough of everything that's going on in the continent map. First, I'll show you how to actually get into the continent map. It's this little button right here that says Guild Continent Map. Just click on that, and it brings up a map that'll show you basically little continents of each age. The guild I'm in here is currently fighting in the Iron Age. So you click on that age, and it brings you into that continent's map. Now you can see there are green areas here. These are the areas that we control. They're called sectors. These are the sectors we control. This one is called Parlanu, and its sector coordinates are 20, 42. So when you're communicating in chat or what have you, trying to tell someone about a specific sector, use those numbers. This, for instance, this is 2042. This one here is 2142. Up here, this is 2041, etc. That's how you work your way around the map. Now over here, this is a sector that we just took last night. You can see this green shield hovering above it. That shield indicates that it's still under protection. We took this after the last power calculation, which happens at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when all the power from all your sectors is added up and tallied, as well as other sources like Halls of Fame, and is added to basically your guild experience point pool. You can get a little information here. You can see we own this sector. We're the wholesale traders. The power, it shows 2 crowns. Each crown is essentially an experience point towards leveling your guild. So this sector is worth 2 crowns. If you'll see here, you see there are sectors that have a lot of trees in them. The more trees, the more valuable the sector is. This sector has 1 tree and it's worth 3 crowns. This sector over here has 2 trees. It's worth 4 crowns. This one over here is owned by our allies, the Trade Consortium. It's loaded with trees and it's worth 6 crowns. This has no trees. It's worth 2 crowns. Now you can see there's a difference here in these hexes. Some of them are green, some of them are yellow. The yellow ones are sand. These are beaches. Any guild that's trying to enter combat on a particular map has to enter on one of these beaches. Like, let's see if I can find a border one that's not a beach. There's really not many. If any at all. Now it looks like all the borderlands are your beaches. This is where you have to enter GvG. We entered, I believe we entered at this sector here. No, so when we entered, this is a headquarters here. Each guild that's on the map has a headquarters on one of their sectors. When we entered here and we spread throughout here. We made our ally along this border so that we're not fighting everybody that comes along. We share most of our border with this guild, so we made an alliance with them. Now let me click on a sector and I'll give you some information on that. When you click on the sector, a little sub-menu comes up. You can view the sector, see your guild, the guild profile. For this particular one, it'll be ours because we own it. You can see the guild's ranking. You have the option of once a day you can relocate your headquarters. I'll get into why that's an asset. And you can grant freedom, which means basically you give up that sector. You no longer control it, so as of that day you'll no longer be receiving crowns from it, but you get all the goods that were put into taking it returned to you. I haven't done that yet, so I can't really tell you exactly how many goods. It's probably not a full return. But then that sector becomes controlled by a non-player, and any guild that borders it can take that sector. Now you can only, once you enter the map, you can only attack hexes adjacent to one you own. So when we took this one as our first one, the only options we had were to take this one, this one, this one, or this one. Okay, so let me click on View Sector here, and I'll show you what's going on in there. Okay, this is a territory we own, so you can see that we have all our defensive armies placed already. You can hover over them to see exactly what the makeup of that particular army is. I find it best, again, I'm not the most experienced, but I have some experience. I find it best to try to make sure that each of these armies is different from all the rest. This way your opponent doesn't know what to expect. Like if you go in with, if you put 4 of the same army in, that's half the armies that your opponent's going to battle that he knows what to expect when that comes up. Now, the green is ours, our defending armies. The red over here would be if an enemy placed a siege on it, that would be one army. It would show up right here, and you'd be able to see how many units you have left to defeat in that army. I don't have any territories that need placement, so I can't really show you how things get placed. I'll have to cover that in another video, but essentially what you do is whatever forces you want to use, you place up in here, and you'll see there will be, if there's empty spaces here, there'll be a gray arrow, and that arrow will turn orange when you have a full army ready to go, and you just click on it, and that will remove these armies from your control and place them as defending units for your guild. You'll then have to retrain new units back in your city. I'll have to make a video for when we do a siege. If someone tries to break our siege, there's a procedure for how to replace your army. You can your army has to be defeated 10 times. You can see there's a pip for each time your army has to be defeated. These blue squares will turn red once your army has been defeated. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, etc. If we're placing a siege and our siege gets attacked, once it gets down to like maybe 3 pips, what I do is I like to have someone have an army ready and waiting and watching for when it comes down there. You click on the select to delete unit, go over to that army and click on that. It'll ask you if you're sure. You can remove that army and immediately replace it with a fresh army of any units that you choose. Place that unit, and it will essentially reset that counter. They'll have to defeat that new army 10 times in order to break your siege. Okay, let's say we're going to make an attack. You can see over here now in the Iron Age, each age is a little different as far as how the defense gets split up. But let's view an opposing sector. Let's check this one out. Okay, you can see here, if I remove all of my units here, now that's weird. Something may be acting up. This should be gray. I'm going to end this video and give a restart because something's going a little hinky here. I should have covered just about everything. I might have to do a second video to fill in some details, but this should cover it for now. Thanks for watching.